everybody. My name is William Edward Letnowski, and I'm here with my Stephen King collection. I have a shit ton of books, so we're going to just get into them. I've read the majority of them. I'll go through the ones I have not read. Some of them are news, some of them I have not read. Let's start with my favorite of his that I own at the moment. It is probably his most famous novel to those who are not Stephen King fans, outside of The Shining, Doctor Sleep, and Carrie. Those are like his three most, but like this is like the big one. Anyone who isn't a Stephen King fan at least can admit this book kicks ass. It is the story of the Losers Club and their journey from childhood to adulthood as they battle the metaphor for childhood trauma known as Pennywise. Next, we're going to start from the back and work our way up. Full Dark, No Stars. This one is just, it is a wonderfully gruesome novel, like the back suggests. The only problem is I read it once. It's not like his most famous novel, and if there isn't already, I don't expect there to be a movie. Although I would like a movie of all his stuff. Some of his stuff just can't be movies. Screw it. Yeah, everything's falling. Okay, next we'll do Doctor Sleep. Doctor Sleep is the story of Danny Torrance, the son of Jack Torrance, and him trying to deal with he tries to deal with the properties of growing up the way he did. Because if you think about it, his dad blew up. So yeah, I'm not scripting this, but yeah, it's a wonderfully great novel, but it's about, what I really liked is that it's about Danny, who is my favorite character in both the movie and the book. Because I thought he was done so wonderful as a mature kid. Or at least in the original, he was a mature kid. In the second one, in the movie, he wasn't really a mature kid. He was normal. This is just, I believe, yes, it is a collection of short stories consisting of The Langoliers, which was turned into a miniseries. Crap. The Secret Window, Secret Garden, which was turned into a movie called The Secret Window. The Library Policeman, which I have not read. And The Sundog. And I believe that is it. Dolores Claiborne. I remember the movie a little bit more than I do the book. The only thing I really remember is that it's about this girl who has to go face her past, which she does by returning to her old childhood home. And the book was done masterfully well. But the movie's where it's at. I recommend if you want one side of the story, sorry Mr. King, you're one of my favorites. You're up there with John Green and J.K. Rowling. But if you really want amazing telling of the story, watch the movie. Starring Kathy Bates, who is also in Misery, which I also own and is in here somewhere. Oops. Next we got Skeleton Crew. Wait, we'll get into that later. Never mind. I'm trying to do only big books here. Next you got the Bill Hodges trilogy -1, because I don't have one. This one I got from my neighbor, and this one I got from a Dollar General. This one is probably the best out of the two, which I'm just assuming because I haven't read this one yet. Because I started reading this, and then I got sidetracked reading It and Misery, and I kind of started trying to read Children of the Corn and The Night Shift, but this, I know, is the story of a retired cop named Bill Hodges. I'm assuming he's in all of them because it's called the Bill Hodges trilogy. Who is trying his hardest to solve a mystery of a guy who drives a Mercedes, killing people in a clown mask or something of that nature. It was turned into a, in my opinion, decent crime drama, which just finished its 3rd season. If I'm not mistaken, each season is a different book. Like, the first season is Mr. Mercedes. I'm assuming the 2nd season would be Finders Keepers. But yeah, we're going to put this up here with Dolores. And we are going to get started on Under the Dome. I'm going to say right now, never read this book. The reason I got these, I'm not going to lie, are because, it's because, my grandma owned a lot of these, and this one I'm only familiar with because it was a TV show, and I, watched the TV show with my mom a while back. But other than that, I don't know anything about this one. And I haven't tried to read it yet. Kind of because I don't really want to. But it's there. Look at this. Still got so much. Still got a long way to go, guys. Let's keep going. I'm going to say right now, however this is said. Oh yeah, Stephen King's From a Buick 8. I haven't read, but I don't know. The only reason this one caught my eye, other than, the author's name, is the back. It says there are Buicks everywhere, and the cool transition from a Buick to a cop car. Buicks are decent enough cars. I still think a Plymouth Fury, which is what Christine is in the book Christine, is a way better thing. This one, I used to have 2 copies, but I gave them to my friend who also has a YouTube channel. I don't know why I'm giving a shout out considering she has over 200 subscribers and I have 10. So in total she should be shouting out me, and I'm not going to ask her to do that because I hate asking for favors. If she wants to do that, that's her own decision. But yeah, just in case you're wondering, her YouTube name is Shadow Wolf. I will not give her original name. I'll let her do that herself. But yeah, this is Desperation. Desperation is, from what I can gather, because I read it back in 2015 when I received the book. So from what I can remember, it's about this couple who go into a small town where insane shit happens. And I remember how it begins. It begins with Mary, I believe her name is. Let me look. Mary, yes. Mary telling her husband or boyfriend or something like that, named Peter, that there was a dead cat on a sign, even though she was probably hallucinating. I have not seen the miniseries, but I plan on watching it soon. Bag of Bones. I did not read. Let's move on. I don't know, it looks weird to me, so I didn't want to read it. The Talisman is about a guy trying to find the talisman. I believe he's trying to find the talisman to save his sick mother. His name is Jack Sawyer, and he's 12 years old. This is a fantasy book, but unlike most Stephen King fans, I love his fantasy books. And Peter Straub is pretty good in this book, too. Okay, we're moving on to shelf number 2. Okay, The Needful Things is part of the Castle Rock series, and because I have not read any of the other Castle Rock books, you can pretty much tell by now I did not read this. When I do read the other Castle Rock books, I will read this. I'm assuming when it says the last Castle Rock story, I mean, he probably means it's like the last one set in Castle Rock. Because, yeah, let's see what else is there. The Dead Zone, Cujo, the Tommyknockers, the Dark Half, the Body, and the Sundog. I do not know if I think the Body's in here. Let's check. Okay, so the Skeleton Key I did read a little bit of. Let's see. Alright, let's see if I can remember what I read. I read The Mist. The Mist was really good and really compelling. It's also like really long for a short story. Like, yeah, it's this long. This is The Mist. Then there's Here They Be Tigers, which is 3 pages long. So, yeah, bullshit. Then The Monkey, which I'm assuming is what this came from. Bunch of stupid stuff. Beach World, Nana, Survivor Type, Grandma, The Ballad of Flexor Bullet, and The Reach. I only read The Mist, apparently, because none of the other ones rings a bell. Let's talk about his only other short story one I have here today, The Night Shift. I read Children of the Corn a little bit ago. Okay, so let's see what else is in here. Jerusalem's Lot, which is weird because he wrote another book called Salem's Lot. The Night Surf, which is close to The Night Shift. The Mangler, The Boogeyman. I believe there's a movie for that one, but it might have been something else. Battleground. Trucks. Sometimes They Come Back. Strawberry Spring. The Ledge. The Lawnmower Man. That was also a movie. Quitters, Inc. I Know What You Need. Children of the Corn, which was the titular movie that everyone either loves or hates. And then The Last Rung on the Ladder, The Man Who Loved Flowers, and On the Road. One the Road, or One on the Road, or something like that. Anyway, The Tommyknockers. I did not read. Next. Blaze. Also did not read. Next. Misery. I did read. Fantastic novel. It's a battle of wits, and basically it's about this author who's a stand-in for Stephen King, who is found by Annie Wilkes, his #1 fan, in a car wreck in the snow, and taken back to her house, where he is bound to the bed. His legs get chopped off, and he is forced to rewrite an ending because Annie does not like it. I cannot spoil what happens from there, because from there the book just keeps getting better and better and better. Same can be said for the movie, which also just keeps getting better and better and better. If I had to choose which one was... Oh, here's another cool thing about it. You actually get to read the novel. But yeah, anyway, sorry, I started fucking reading it. That's how entrancing it is. Okay. Here's a more awkward novel, unless you're, like, okay with kinky shit, because the premise of this book starts out with... I'm only going to talk about how this book begins, because otherwise I'll be fucking everything up. So, a couple are looking to spice up their sex life. So, one of them gets handcuffed to a bed. Then the spouse has a heart attack. And the other one, he's just left there handcuffed to the bed. And it just gets better and better from there. I can't spoil it though. I'll fuck everything up if I do. Okay. Cujo! Which actually was a really good movie, but I have not read the book. The first Stephen King book to make me cry, Pet Sematary, which is the story of the Creed family who move into a house, and one of the family members gets ran over by a semi, and then it's just a long grieving process from there. This one I did not read, but I think is made into a movie sometime, or was made into a movie at one point. I hate these books, although I am trying to read them, like, trying. And then this I hate, not this I hate, but this I haven't read, this I haven't read. Last but not least, the longest book he wrote, The Stand. But this one was uncut, so I haven't read it. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys like Stephen King, leave a like or comment down below, or subscribe if you want more. Click the notification bell if it's over there, even though it's useless because of my low subscriber count, and even if I had a high subscriber count, YouTube would still rarely ever tell you when I uploaded. So, yeah. And if you are a Stephen King fan, let me know your favorite movie of his, and or your favorite book of his. And if you want to, why do you like those books? Recommend some other authors for me to read, because I am reading a lot right now. For my recommended book of the day, which I'll be doing every time I do a recommended video, I will be recommending Bop. Boop. And because I went through a bunch of his stuff, I might as well recommend something of his. Let's see. Okay, screw it. I pretty much kiss the book's ass. We'll recommend it to. Anyway, we're going to do wildly different novels. First, you got Simon vs. the Homo Sapiens Agenda, or the movie version, which is Love, Simon. This book is the book about a closeted gay kid who, he's not really scared of coming out. It's really complicated, but he explains it in such a weird way. It's relatable, even if you're not gay. It's funny. It's heartbreaking at times. It's just about this kid who gets blackmailed. And it's something a kid would actually do to a gay kid to hurt them. But then he ends up meeting the love of his life in the form of a email pen pal named Blue. Next, Misery. I just talked about it, so I'm not going to talk any more about it. All I'm going to say is these are my recommended. Go check them out at your local Barnes & Noble or thrift store, or library if you don't want to buy them. I definitely think both the movie versions of these and the book versions of these are worth a check out. And I'll see you guys later. Bye.